right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I have a few questions about your views on, I guess, like the intersection of storytelling and the consumer brands and consumer products.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we have a fun segment on leadership.
Okay. Dude, I love the shit stuff off like from the fishbowl. I love it. Okay.
This is a new format that I'm trying out.
It's called blind box. This is the industry I'm in. This is the blind box.
Right, that's true.
This is the blind box.
Blind box, yeah.
I'm very familiar with
The most rudimentary form of blind box. All right. Yeah, so let's start first with the event itself. So the theme is SG60, 60 years of Singapore. Obviously, you work at a company, a global brand, and you manage the Southeast Asia and EMEA,
Middle East,
Middle East
business, exactly.
Business as well. What role do you see Southeast Asia in terms of like the overall business? How much has the market grown for the company you're in?
Sure. Yeah. Southeast Asia has been an anchor really for the international business. I mean, we first hit it off in Thailand. It was huge, and I think a big part of it is really the fact that I think in Southeast Asia there's a big appetite for creativity. If you look at Philippines, you look at Indonesia, you look at Malaysia, for example. There's a growing and a huge community of designers, graphic artists. So it's nothing new, right? I think to our part of the world. So I think when POPMART came in, it just became so exciting. Yeah, so it's a big part of the business for us. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I'm curious to know like how you see the role of Singapore and Southeast Asia in terms of a place where a lot of these consumer brands are coming out of.
Yep.
And a lot of creators are being able to create their own personal brands or selling on different platforms.
Sure. Yeah.
How do you say that?
Well, Singapore is, to quote unquote, is always the gateway for Asia. Even for POPMART, it's the same thing. I think we came in and we're knowing that if you want to get to Asia, you want to get to Southeast Asia, APAC, I mean, Singapore is the way to go. And everything what Singapore promises, so the infrastructure, the way we are being able to let businesses come in, etc. In terms of creativity, I think it also protects IP.
Yeah.
I think for us, IP protection is a very big part of the business. And you probably have seen, right, that Labubus is now extremely popular, it's gone viral. But what it also means is the rise of the Lafufu
Right.
globally, and to be honest, I think when you kind of look at how Lafufus have come up, different parts of the world, and different countries have very different guidelines, regulations to protect IP, and I think that's giving the company a lot of thought in terms of, hey, where do I really want to develop the brand? Where can I really grow the brand? While protecting at the same time. I think that's a very important consideration for us.
Right.
And
what have you learned about protecting IP and brands from your time at not just POPMART but also Lego?
Lego, yeah. What I've learned, it's an extremely difficult process.
And any views on how like technologies like when we talk about like programmable IP, blockchain or even AI or trying to make it life a little bit easier with IP?
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, we're talking about went through Nova today. We're talking about how we're able to have digital verification on the blockchain, and the technology is available. But I suppose, from where I stand, which is a very traditional FMCG, traditional retail, it's like, a brick and mortar store and selling things. So I feel that there's definitely some way to go. But I do see a potential that there is something there that can help the business in that sense. But I think IP protection has, in different countries and different industry, I think there's still a lot of challenge, to be honest. I think recently there was somebody caught in China, and I was trying to give an example. He earned like millions from selling Lafufu, and obviously I think what we're trying to do is make sure that we are going after them at the source, at the factory. That's probably the most effective way right now. But it's an ongoing battle. Different brands, different industries, an ongoing battle.
And it's a multi-front kind of
definitely, yeah. But at the core of it, I think it must be the society's desire to protect intellectual property. We must respect the artists, because if not, what's the point? What's in it for artists, right? If whatever they do, what they create, and they pour their heart and soul into, becomes something that's easily taken and copied, and that's not being fair to
What are your thoughts on AI's impact on that? Especially with, I guess, POPMART's products also being very, like, POPMART started, Labubus started as a comic, I think, or like a, was it
like a child drawing?
Right?
Child drawing,
Like a lot of characters in 2D before it became 3D product, right? So, like, what are your thoughts on AI kind of being able to create these 2D generations and all?
This is
a little bit too spicy for 5
I know,
PM.
right? Extremely spicy. That's my wine.
Right.
I mean, look, I think AI has an amazing role in recreating images and giving access to a lot of things that we wouldn't even have access to. But at the same time, I feel that there's a fine line between that and really respecting artists, rights to continue doing what they're doing.
Right.
I think it's really important to make sure that we create that environment to further nourish and further protect and to also kind of help future artists get there. Yeah.
Right.
And we know that it may be assisted by AI, but it's not going to be replaced by AI.
Right.
And I think that the environment that we set up today and that we help to nurture these is really important, just to make sure that we continue to give creativity a spark and a chance to survive and do well.
And I think the whole factor of storytelling also plays a role in terms of, I guess, setting up creating a genuine connection with the art and the artist that probably can't be done with AI. Like knowing that it was done by this person and that they have that background.
Absolutely.
It's probably one of the safeguards. So to speak.
Yeah. That's a really good point. That, apart from the storytelling of the IP character, there's also the storytelling of the person or the artist behind it.
Right.
And you're right. So I think a lot of times, in fact, I would share something with you. A lot of times when you see the storytelling of the IP, that storytelling comes primarily very much inspired by the personality of the creator. Oftentimes it's like that. And I see when they kind of see the relationship between the artist and the created IP, it's a deep relation and it's a beautiful story.
Right.
And you can see how that further even comes into life.
Right.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. I was curious to know, since you manage 2 different regions, what are the learnings from Southeast Asia that you've been able to apply in other regions, or that you've shared with other regional leaders and POPMART?
I think Southeast Asia I think the beautiful thing about Southeast Asia is we're not a huge region,
right?
But we're super fragmented, right? I mean, we speak different races, with different languages, different cultures. So I think the biggest part about Southeast Asia for me is the diversity of cultures and languages, and I think the appreciation of diversity, and therefore the belief in inclusion. That you go to any Southeast Asian country, and the way you work with things is you believe you're very willing to accept and you're willing to be inclusive.
Right.
And I think that mindset of just accepting and believing in inclusion in the way you approach things works in every culture. I think especially in the Middle East, where you approach and go oh wow, what's happening here? But I think it's put on the lens of inclusion, and you go let me start by understanding what works on your side of the world, what's happening on your side of the picture, and then I think about how does my story, my products come into your world. I think that's the best way to engage it.
Right, knowing the market first, and
absolutely. Right.
On that note, I wanted to get into our, the POPMART.
The blind box. The blind box questions.
So I think since we're doing an interview with POPMART, let's do 3 questions this time.
Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
we have some time. So pick one first.
Okay,
do one at a time. What's your
one.
style actually? Open all at the same time, or open
no. Yeah, I'll open all.
Maybe get three.
I get 3.
Yeah, get 3.
So I pick 3 and then open all 3.
Open
one at a time.
Open one at a time.
Okay.
But get 3 already. Yeah.
I get 3 already. Okay, I take 1. It's really like take a blind box. You know what I should do? I should do this
ASMR. No, put it next to the mic.
Okay, one more.
And last one.
And I'll give this one.
All right, awesome. Okay, so let's open one at a time.
1, 2, 3.
All right.
Okay. So the first one. Okay, let's see.
Importance of storytelling for your leadership.
Okay, importance of storytelling for your leadership. I think stories are really important. I think stories form the bedrock of any culture.
Right.
And I think whenever you lead a team, no matter how big or small a team, I think inspiration is really important, because a lot of times it's not just numbers that drive people. It's not dollars that drive the business. It's often storytelling. It's often your vision. It's often what you build in terms of values in the business that drives people forward, that inspires people. So I think the ability for a leader to imbue storytelling into your leadership style, into your communication style, is extremely important, because I believe good storytelling leads to good influence. So I think that's powerful. Yeah.
Awesome. Second one.
Okay, first one. All right. Okay. Love the question, by the way.
Perfect for our chat.
I know. Next one. Okay. This is.
It's just short one.
Oh.
How do you de-stress?
Ooh. How do I de-stress? Sports.
Well, any one sport in particular?
So I started joining High Rocks this year.
Sorry?
High Rocks.
High Rocks.
High Rocks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Heard
So
about that.
it's like a sports event where it's a combination of elements from CrossFit as well as running.
Right.
Yeah. So I like the fact that it's a good combination of both endurance sports as well as strength related sports. So I find that very thrilling. And I have a partner that I do it together with, and we're like,
Was it like relay CrossFit where you move from one
kind
location
of,
to the
right?
next?
So you're running, you're like
You
running
spread
one-
out.
yeah, you're running 1 kilometer, and then you're running 1 kilometer, you're doing one station, one kilometer, and one station again. So this is what. But you know what I really believe in?
Yeah.
Do you know why sports is such a good de-stressor? And I always say this as a joke. It's because when you are running and you're so breathless and you're fighting for your life as you're doing the exercises, you have no time to think about work.
Right.
Your mind is fully focused in the moment because there's
No
no
choice.
choice. No choice. You're trying to get the next step in, you're trying to get the next push up in. So I think it's a great way to just completely switch off from work because you have no choice.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Great advice. And last one.
Yes, last one. All right, let's go.
Hopefully the best one.
The best one, let's see. I'm not sure what's the best
spiciest
for you.
one.
The spiciest one. Oh, yeah,
Last time
spicy.
failure. Yeah. Last
This-
time failure has helped you as a leader.
So last time failure is helping as a leader. Oh, this is a big one. Last failure was hit me quite hard.
Was it POPMART or previous?
It was previous company.
Previous company.
Yeah, I won't mention which company.
Yeah.
But I would say that it was an overseas experience, and it was my first time leading an overseas team. And I think it went south very
Yeah.
quickly. I think at the end of the day, I actually left the job quite bitter.
Yeah.
And feeling like I wasn't trusted, and I felt that I lost a lot of confidence, credibility. But I think that failure reminded me that, especially when you're a foreigner in the country, you really have to listen. Yeah, so I think it's one thing to go in and say, hey, I think I can solve a lot of problems. Like I'm the leader and I'm expected to know all the solutions. I think the hard truth about leadership is you are never alone in that journey, and you're not expected to have all the answers. So I think the humbling experience was listen to your team, work together with a team, and be prepared to co-create solutions. So I think that was very humbling. But it was a great reminder that you truly don't have all the answers. And you don't need to put the pressure on yourself to have all the answers.
Oh, yes.
So
hard thing to let go of sometimes, but
it was
important. Yeah.
It was one of the lowest points I feel. But hey, when you're at the low point, the only way is up, and I think there's just so much learning from there.
Right. Yeah.
Mm.
Thanks so much for being candid and sharing all this.
No problem, thank you. Like, wow,
And,
you must have planted this somehow the last question. It's the best question of the last
No, it was your blind box. Of
It was
course.
my blind box.
Yeah. Who else can you expect to have a great blind box quiz, right? And one of the senior folks at